So you probably don't know this just yet, but a good place to start working on improving your mental health actually starts in the kitchen. So let's get into today's video. There is over 3,000 records showing the correlation between nutrition and the effects that it has on your mental health. And don't even get me started on preventable chronic diseases. At least 117 million Americans in the United States have one or more preventable chronic diseases, such as high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and poor bone health, which are also related to poor eating patterns. Which is why in this video, I want to teach you how you can build a healthy, sustainable lifestyle that will help boost your mental health, improve your focus, and move you away from those chronic diseases so that you don't end up being a statistic. So in implementing a new lifestyle, such as eating more nutritious, having healthier eating patterns, it's a good idea to first become aware of your relationship with food as it is right now. For example, do you find yourself emotionally eating? Maybe when you're sad, you tend to gravitate towards sweets, cookies, and pie. Or maybe you're just so busy, you're constantly ordering takeout or grabbing some chips out of the cupboard just because it's quick and convenient. Or do you even find that you're skipping meals? Now, if you're not aware of what your relationship is with food right now, that's okay. It's quite normal. But what you can do is begin a food diary. So I have actually attached a free PDF food log example, also known as a food diary, from Johns Hopkins Hospital here. And this is just to give you a general idea of what information you would put down in your food diary. So for example, here they have 8:15 in the morning. You want the place. Did you have this at home? Maybe you ate it in front of the TV. Thoughts and feelings. In this example, we could see it says hungry, in a hurry. And even though this has an example here, I do want to explain a little bit on the differentiation on how you would explain thoughts and feelings. Typically, thoughts could be elaborated or explained in a sentence, whereas feelings can be described in one word most of the time. So for example, hungry, sad, afraid. And then thoughts, as you can see here, well, I was in a hurry. And then we have food, beverages, and how it was prepared. So here they have an egg or a poached egg. They're sharing with us that they have orange juice, some toast, and then they have the amount. But let's just say you begin to work on this little food diary here, and then you begin to become aware, well, I don't even know how this food is prepared. I just know that at 8 in the morning, I go to Starbucks and I typically buy a orange scone and a venti chai tea latte. So in that case, you could just put, you had one orange scone, you could just put venti, or if you know exactly how many ounces is in a venti, you could just put, 16 ounces. And I would say you could do a week to 2 weeks of logging down your food, then review this information, of course, with a registered dietitian or your doctor or someone who is credentialed in this field, so that you can begin to make those micro baby steps that will help make this shift sustainable for you so that you can improve your focus and your productivity and obviously your mental health. Notice how you are speaking to yourself, your self-talk. How are you currently speaking to yourself when something doesn't go right? Remember to be kind to yourself. For example, say you're a parent and your 1-year-old child is learning how to walk, and occasionally they're gonna get up and they're gonna fall down. Would you as a parent tell that child, oh, you fell down? You suck. Don't even try again. No loving, supportive parent or caretaker would talk that way to a little 1-year-old who is trying to learn how to walk. You, as a loving, caring parent, would encourage that baby. You'd be like, come on, baby, you can do it, you can do it, mama loves you, you can do it. And not only would you encourage the baby with positive words, but you would also have positive energy because you believe in that child. You love that child. You want to see your child thrive. And why not have that same relationship, that same energy, that same love toward yourself? So let me give you some examples on how you can shift that negative shaming self-talk to non-shaming self-talk. So let's say you've been embarking on this journey, you're trying to implement, more fruits and veggies, you're really working on choosing healthier food options, and then you go to your mom's house and she just baked some chocolate chip cookies. And that sounds so good. I can even smell it now. But anyways, so you're like, you know what? Cookies here, I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna have a couple. And then after you eat them, you begin to feel guilty. and you begin to tell yourself, oh my God, you can't do it. Oh God, you're gonna get fat. Oh gosh, you're gonna add extra calories that you don't need. Negative self-talk. So to shift that negative self-talk to yourself that's just gonna make you feel bad, instead, there's a few things you can do. One is you can substitute for non-shaming statements. A non-shaming statement is, my vitality is important to me. I like to choose healthier snacks when I'm hungry. I want to choose healthier food options. Or, it's important to me to eat the things I enjoy in moderation. I made a commitment to enhance my mental health. Those would all be considered non-shaming statements where you're still being honest with yourself, but you're being kind in the manner that you speak to yourself. And if that doesn't help, an alternative is just to remember the baby. How would you speak to someone you love, to someone you care about? It's the same energy, it's the same love that you want to remember to give yourself. And third, I think I'm on number 3, if you have the means, it's good to consider eating for your needs. And one of the best ways to do this is to schedule an appointment with your primary care physician so that they can provide a medical workup on you. You can let your physician know that you're working on implementing a healthy lifestyle. If you want to make sure there's no underlying conditions and you're free to eat whichever foods that you want to eat, or if there's any foods that maybe would be in your best interest to stay away from. Like me, diabetes runs in the family. So because of my age and because of my genetics, I have to be really careful with the amount of sugar that I consume in my body, which is why in my YouTube shorts, you'll always see that my desserts are like low sugar and my cookbooks are typically pre-diabetes cookbooks, because again, I have to be careful with the amount of sugar that I am consuming within my body. So that would be an example of eating for your needs. A meal that may be perfectly fine for one person may not be the perfect meal for you based on any underlying conditions. And next, you want to equip yourself with basic nutritional education. I actually talked a little bit more about healthier foods and specifically foods that fight depression. So if you want to check that out, it's in this video here. So not only do you want to gain more education on what's good to put in your body, you also want to know a little bit on what should be limited. How are you prepping the food? How are you cooking the food? That's important as well. You want to consider the amount of the food that you are eating. Consider the credentials of someone who specializes in that field, such as a registered dietitian, a doctor. You want to make sure that you are intaking the safest information for you possible. And again, the goal is to make this sustainable. You don't want to follow someone who's on a super strict regimen or follow someone who kind of gives you the wrong information and you try it and then it doesn't work out for you long term, or it kind of has adverse effects on you and leads to maybe even poor results. This part is actually super important when you are learning about healthier food choices to put into your body, because you might look at these foods and you might be like, yeah, but how am I going to eat? That's going to be so boring. And this is why I really encourage people to understand the variety of meals that you can make with a dish. And the best way to do this, I think, is by looking at different recipes, cookbooks, healthy blogs. But when you understand what food items are considered the healthier food items, then you can look at any blog or any recipe that anyone's putting up and you'd be like, okay, you know what? She's using white pasta. I'm just going to substitute the white pasta for whole wheat pasta. So really just having a nice general understanding of what those healthier options are gives you more power, more control, what you are making for yourself and for your family. How do we start implementing this plan here? So let's say you did your food diary or your food journal. Now it's been about 2 weeks or so. You look at your food diary and realizing at lunch, I always have a soda. Let's say based off your nutritional education, maybe you've been met with a nutritionist or a registered dietitian and they're teaching you that, you know what? Soda's not good. You realize that soda's not good. So you decide either one, reduce the amount of soda you have for lunch, or you decide to replace that soda with infused water. Instead, I'm going to carry my water bottle with me. I'm gonna put a wedge of lemon in here and I'm gonna take this with work, and this is gonna be what I have to drink. Speaking of water. And that is one way people can often begin to gradually implement a healthier, sustainable lifestyle. So I really hope this helps you build a strong foundation to implementing a healthy, sustainable lifestyle so that you can boost your mental health and increase your focus. And if this video is helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And it really helps promote these videos to other people who may be in need of this content on the YouTube platform. Bye guys.